Now we can create tables in our tutorial database. So what kind of information are we going to store in the table? Actually, what are we using the database for anyway? How about we use the database for an online store? And for the first table, we'll create the customer table. First, we need to let MySQL know which database we will create our table in. And to do so, we use the term useTutorial. If you're not sure the actual name of the database you're going to add it into, if you select schemas here, it'll show you the schemas available. And we have the system one and we have our tutorial one. So we will use tutorial and then I will add a space. Now the space is because I like to have it formatted a certain way, but it doesn't matter if it's all on one line or if you separate the lines, as long as you have the semicolon to separate the commands. To create the table, we start with the keywords create table. Then we add customer because that's what we're going to name the table. Then we add parentheses so we don't forget the closing one. And now we'll add the columns. But what kind of information do we want to store in this customer table? How about name? How about address? First, the name. Should we store it in one column or two separate columns? First name and last name? If we want to get really fancy, we can do 3 columns. First, last, and preferred. But this is a tutorial, so we'll make do with 2 columns. First name and last name. And we'll make them variable length with a max of 50 characters each. So varchar 50. We have last name, varchar 50. Second, we'll want phone and email columns, which we will also make variable length, 20 and 50 respectively. So we have email. Lastly, what about address? Should we make it 1 column or 4? For our purposes, we will use 4 columns: address, city, state, and zip code. So we'll add address, as in the street address. We'll make that a varchar 50. City, we'll make a varchar of 50. State, make a char of 2, because we know we'll only be keeping the 2 digits and it doesn't need to be a varchar. And then we have zip code, which will make a varchar of 20. Now you press the lightning bolt, then you go over here. Now that you have schemas active, hit the refresh button and open it. And we see that we have the customer table created.